Hi, Joe Cerrone.
And Al Rosen.
Welcome to our CAD 117 Intermediate AutoCAD in our weekly Zoom classroom meeting. All right, so this week we're covering Module 6. Module 6 is how to dimension architectural drawings and to create blocks and symbols. Al has everything programmed out here for you. Before we go into all of that, what we do want to say is that we moved the midterm back. And so the midterm exam will be available on November 3rd. So next week, which will be October 27th, we'll go through and we'll review the material for the midterm. But if you're thinking, oh, I got to have the midterm in, it's been pushed back. So we'll go over the policy and procedures for the midterm next week. We'll release the midterm on the 3rd, and then the midterm is due the following week as it's laid out in the calendar. Right, Al?
Yes, sir.
All right. So with that, continue to do the work module by module. Turn those in. Al and I will grade those and give you feedback on those. Al has also put in a quiz in here just to give everybody some feedback. So there's a quiz right here on blocks, which is on the chapter that we're going to cover tonight. And it's on chapter 9.
And it's really, really long, Joe. How many questions are there?
I think there's 5. I can
5
see.
questions.
Yeah.
And of course, 5 questions you can ask and use your computer, book, internet, whatever you like to have. And when you want to, you drop it back into number 6 module as a PDF, and it'd be fantastic.
Right. So we want you to do well. We just want to keep everything rolling along here. So as we go through and look at our Zoom meeting, here's our drawing assignment. Let's pull that up on CAD.
And by the way, the quiz, I forgot to say, is open for 1 whole week. So you have a week to turn it in. If you need longer, no problem. Just let us know.
And that's Al's. How many years of teaching do you have, Al? How much experience?
Turn off the grid, please. If you could, please.
I'm trying. There we go. So as we turn off the grid and the snap, this is our basic cabin, our tiny house. You've got this living area. It's very small. It's 15 feet by, I think it's 15 by 18. And the idea is to go through and to create these different dimension styles for the dimensions as shown here. And then in chapter 9, I believe it is, we'll go through and we'll create these different symbols and blocks that we will insert, like for the switches and for the electrical outlets and for the windows and for this light in here. So it's a pretty straightforward drawing. You'll make the drawing in model space and then set the viewport scale and set it up in paper space. Back to the main splash page. How to do that? Chapter 6 goes through how to dimension architectural drawings. And what we want you to be able to do is to be able to explain how to determine architectural drawings, to take a look at the standards, look at guidelines for creating dimensions. We'll look at dimension commands, and then we'll create a dimension style for the floor plan, which we'll add those dimensions to. And so in the overview, what they do is they talk about how to dimension architectural drawings, looking at basic standards and conventions for architectural drawings, using things like architectural ticks, using text fonts that aren't real fancy, very plain. I like to use the city blueprint because it looks like handwritten lettering rather.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you know, the fonts, if they're clean looking, they're easier to read. And so this one looks kind of like hand drawing. I believe that is very similar to the city blueprint dimension style. And so, you know, the guidelines are given to you here as far as like where to place the dimensions, how to dimension to the doors and to the windows, interior versus exterior dimensions. And it's a graphical language. You can look at the pictures and kind of figure it out. So we go through these different things like how to create a leader with a multi-leader style. And then we show you how to go through and create a dimension style for our tiny house. And so we go and we create an ARC-24 dimension style. And then we set each of the parameters as it's shown here. We'll set the primary units, the architectural precision to a 16th, and all the rest of the settings as they're shown here. And by creating a dimensioning standard, everybody in the class, then the drawings look the same. So the dimension ticks will look the same, the text heights will look the same, the fonts will look the same. And so it just goes through and creates that standardization for you, teaching you how to create a dimension style. And then in the chapter 9, we go through and we learn how to work with blocks. And blocks are basically symbols. We used to use templates. And so how to create these blocks for these technical drawings. We'll create a block for the door. We'll create a block for the ceiling fan. Here's the block make command, and it's explained to you how it works. And we're happy to demo those, but we really don't get a lot of people coming to the Zoom meetings, and most of them are already done in the recordings. And so you can watch our video recordings for how to do this. And we have a good recording that goes and walks you through this entire process. And so in this chapter, we'll go through, here's our drawing. We take our cottage and we create layers for plumbing, wiring, and then we create the bath fixtures that would be on the plumbing layer. So we'll create a drawing according to these dimensions. We'll do the same for the sink and the vanity and the toilet and the fan, and then the symbols for our duplex outlets and our switches. We'll place those objects in the drawings and we'll put the dimensions and these balloons on the drawing. So your drawing should look like that. We also have examples in the main splash page for how to do that. And then they have like a bonus, they have some additional drawings if you'd like to do some electrical schematics. That's at the end, but that's not what we're up to today. So that's our chapter 6 and our chapter 9. Here's the lecture on how to create the drawings. And it's really very much like I was just covering in the textbook or in the in my previous discussion. And then we have blocks. That's what I was looking for. And here's our, oh, that's not my video.
Oh,
Al, do we have a video for this?
yes, we do.
Maybe I just haven't reached it yet.
Right there below, right below, below. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Right there. Chapter 6.
This one right here?
Recording. No,
So
that's fine. Right below that. So please.
Okay. Should be purple, right, Al?
Yeah. Get the purple didn't work right there. See right there, it says recording check. Go down. Go down. Go down. Go down, please. Go down. Right there.
Okay, because I saw this line here.
Purple.
Sorry about that.
Purple. And purple. See the purple?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, let's rename that video tutorial for chapter 6, Al. I think that'll make it easier for the students.
Sounds good. Whatever you like to do.
Sounds good. So here's the video on how to set up the dimension style and then how to apply those dimension styles and blocks to the drawing. And we'll update that just so that it's a little bit easier to understand and follow. And that's it. Back to our main splash page. So that's our Zoom recording for today. And make sure that you complete the drawings, place them in the assignments box, and we'll give you, we'll grade those and give feedback to you as far as how you're doing. Midterm has been pushed back to November 3rd. Next week, we'll go through and go over how the midterm works. And that's basically it. Anything else, Al?
No, I don't think so.
Sounds good. All right, then I'm going to stop the recording and we'll open things up for questions.